Both Seneca and Marcus Aurelius believed that true freedom came from mastering the self. Both wrote extensively about restraint, impermanence, and the dangers of power. Both lived at the center of the Roman Empire, yet one died by imperial command, while the other ruled until his natural death. The difference was not philosophy, but timing, position, and distance from power. Seneca lived in a Rome where survival depended on proximity to the emperor. Power was concentrated, unpredictable, and personal. Emperors rose and fell through intrigue, accusation, and violence. In this environment, even wisdom offered no protection. Marcus Aurelius lived in a different Rome. By the time he became emperor in 161 CE, the imperial system had matured. Succession was more stable. Administration was more formalized. The chaos of earlier reigns had been replaced by routines that limited sudden reversals of fortune. Seneca entered power sideways. He did not rule, he advised. As tutor and counselor to Nero, he existed close enough to influence decisions, but not far enough to be safe. His position made him visible, valuable, and vulnerable all at once. Marcus Aurelius entered power directly. He was prepared for it from childhood, adopted into the imperial succession, and trained for rule. He did not advise power, he embodied it. There was no emperor above him to fear. This distinction mattered more than philosophy. Seneca was always subject to forces he could not control. Marcus Aurelius was the force others had to navigate. Both men faced contradictions between Stoic ideals and Roman reality. Seneca wrote about simplicity while accumulating enormous wealth. He argued that wealth itself was indifferent, as long as the mind remained detached. Yet the visibility of his fortune made him a political target. Marcus Aurelius also lived in luxury, but as emperor, his wealth was inseparable from his role. He did not need to justify it. Power shielded him from the accusations that destroyed others. Their writings reveal another difference. Seneca wrote as a teacher. His essays and letters were designed to persuade, instruct, and console others. He addressed audiences who needed guidance within a dangerous world. Marcus Aurelius wrote only for himself. His meditations were private reflections, never intended for publication. He did not explain Stoicism to others. He reminded himself of it, often while leading armies and managing crises. This inward focus mattered. Seneca's philosophy was tested by the need to survive court politics. Marcus Aurelius's philosophy was tested by responsibility rather than threat. He faced war, plague, and administrative burden, not personal elimination. Seneca tried to retreat from power when he sensed danger. He asked to retire, offered to return wealth, and sought distance. But distance was no longer available. His earlier proximity made withdrawal impossible. Marcus Aurelius never needed to escape power. He accepted it as duty, not opportunity. When faced with rebellion or betrayal, he responded through institutions rather than impulse. The system absorbed shocks that would have been fatal in Seneca's time. The end of their lives reflects this difference clearly. Seneca was ordered to die by a paranoid emperor who feared influence he could no longer control. Marcus Aurelius died peacefully during a military campaign, still emperor, still writing reminders to himself about humility and restraint. Neither man failed Stoicism. Both practiced it under radically different constraints. Seneca lived under power he could not escape. Marcus Aurelius lived as power, shaped by a system that restrained its own extremes. Their lives suggest that philosophy alone does not determine outcomes. Structure matters, position matters, timing matters. The same beliefs can lead to survival or destruction, depending on where a person stands in the system. Seneca understood power and warned against it, but stood too close to it for too long. Marcus Aurelius understood power and accepted its weight without becoming consumed by it. Which mattered more, wisdom or distance from danger? And if the two men had traded positions, would their fates have changed as well?